Hmm. Apparently I'm filming already. 15 seconds of weirdness for you guys who I haven't really been around for anyway. So, here I am with an update. Almost like a, what the hell's been going on with me type of updates. And, well, long story short, I say that, but, I had like a health incident show up. And it was right around, it was probably a couple months ago, maybe like April or May or somewhere around there. And it wasn't anything like major after they kind of explain everything to you, but I had a doctor's appointment, basically just to get checked out, you know. And I'm not really like a regular doctor visit type of person. Like I really have to feel like either it's been too long or I really feel like fucked up or whatever. But so anyway, I went there and I was having like episodes of feeling like I was gonna pass out or like I was overly, I don't know what you want to say, like I'm just carrying shit and doing shit, and I just get like really lightheaded and a little bit of vertigo and all that good stuff. But so I went and saw him, and he that's my Bluetooth speaker shutting off. He's basically was like, well, you have a steady like heart rate right now, or rhythm as they called it, of 144 or so, somewhere around there. And I was basically just sitting in the office with him, and he's like, "Yeah, there's definitely something wrong." So he pulled me out of work and scheduled a like a appointments with a cardiologist in network. And so I went and saw this other cardiologist a few days later, and again I wasn't working, but so I went and saw this other guy, and he's basically explaining to me what he thinks is going on after he does run some tests and shit. And so they send me to like an electrocardiologist type of person where I guess they're more into the rhythm aspect and not the artery type chamber aspect. So I had to go and see another cardiologist who basically was like, yeah, we're going to have to do this procedure. Some of you guys probably know what it is. I'm sure it's pretty common, and it's the success rate's like 99%. So I wasn't really too worried about it. I think the only thing that really got to me was the fact that I couldn't do anything, and because I'm a very very busy person, I like to stay active. I got a lot of hobbies. It's me. I live for me. So, but anyway, so they did this. It's called an ablation, where they basically put a thingamabobber. Yeah, that's the technical term. Through the groin, it's like a catheter, and they got rid of some of the tissue, I guess, that was affecting my rhythm. I don't know, but I think the hardest part was leading up to the actual surgery because I know they had to move me up a week because they put me on all this medication that was supposed to slow my heart rate down, and it just wasn't fucking doing shit. And all they wanted to do really was basically keep up with the medication, and it was the stuff that made me kind of like tired all the fucking time. So I was kind of like lazy, you know what I mean? Like I just felt blah, and I was getting like episodes of like intense like bloating feeling, you know. And I just, dude, I honestly, I felt it was probably the worst I felt in a long time. And I'm like, can we get this fucking surgery going or what the fuck, you know? Because I'm not getting any better. I was supposed to do a show up in Ann Arbor, Michigan that I've done 2 years in a row. Well, up until now, and it's actually what started my whole prop shop thing. That's like my where I broke my vendor virginity up there. But so I was I was really upset that I couldn't go. But the doctor's like, we really until your surgery, we really don't like recommend you going and driving yourself. 2.5 hours away or whatever the fuck it is, to do a show and then to drive all the way the fuck back and be well because you're basically supposed to be resting and not doing shit. So, and nothing to like add any kind of stress or aggravation to your rate that's already high as fuck. So I wasn't able to go to that, and I know this is kind of like some old month ago news, but so I wasn't able to go to that. After the surgery, which was outpatient, I was home the same day. It was one of those early in the morning type of surgeries. And it was like 40, 45 minutes of a procedure. Um, the only thing I really remember is when my sister was there with me. She's like my emergency contact, uh, takes care of all like my medical stuff alongside me. You know what I mean? But I remember I was on this bed that I could not fit in, right? And I get wheeled into this operating room, whatever they call it. And all I remember is like I'd never seen so much like equipment and the color white just everywhere like this. I'm rolling around and they're like trying to like squeeze me into the between these like this equipment, these machines, and I'm like, can't we get a bigger room? I mean, I'm taking up at least a third of this room, I would imagine. And anyway, so they wheel me in, and they got me hooked up to this like fucking 55-inch monitor, monitoring everything that there was, my vitals and all that good stuff. And the anesthesiologist, pardon my French, he comes in and he basically explains what he's going to do and da da da. And that fucker, so I've never actually been under that shit before. And I had some after effects of it. I don't know if it's normal for most people that like come to, but anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. But so he comes in here and he asked me how I'm doing and blah blah blah. And of course, he talked to me while I was in the prep room, basically explaining to me what was going to happen. You were just basically going to be knocked the fuck out and you won't remember anything. He was right. And so he comes in there and he's like, "How about some?" And he puts this mask on me, you know, and he's like, "How about some fresh air? You've been doing good. How about we get you some fresh air?" I was like, "All right." So he goes, "Just inhale deeply, blah blah blah." So I do, and that air, I don't know, maybe it's just me or whatever, but it actually felt fresh. It felt clean. It was like not uncontaminated, let's say, right? So he's like, "Very good. How'd that?" I was like, "Yeah, that was great." He's like, "Well, go ahead and take another one." And when he said that, that's all I remember. I remember waking. I remember waking up probably 40, 45 minutes later. So that's how he put me under. He tricked me. He did. But the cool thing is, though, now when I woke up, I don't want to say cool thing. I kind of felt bad for the nurses. I was kind of angry and agitated because I didn't know where I was, and all I could see was this white ceiling as I'm getting, wheeled around. And I'm like, where am I? What just happened to me? Blah blah blah. And this nurse lady comes finally. She grabs my hand, right, and she starts talking to me like exactly what just happened to you. She's like, you just had this procedure done. You came in here this morning. Your sister's waiting for you, and she basically like reminded me and filled me in like everything that was going on. And I was just like, all right, cool, thank you. Because I don't know, like I said, I've never been under before, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And all I do is remember some other guy like in another bed, in recovery, um, coming to also, and he's like, "Man, I'm just so hungry right now," and I'm like, "I'm with that guy. I'm fucking fucking hungry too." But anyway, so eventually I got back to. I guess it was like they put me back into the area where I started from, and I had to lay basically flat down and not basically move for like an hour or two. I think it was. It's kind of like a way to just recover and mend, if you will. And so the doctor um, who did the procedure came in and talked to me afterward and basically let me know that everything went well and blah blah blah. You're still here, good thing. And I don't know, that was like my first. Well, it was like, I guess it's a heart surgery, right? I don't know, but it was like my first major surgery that wasn't anything like a broken limb or something. And the only other thing that I thought was kind of weird, but maybe it's just normal, is when they were prepping me to go in and go back there, they were like asking me about my like religious um, denomination preferences, whatever, and my wills and my all that good stuff. And I'm like, y'all said there was like a 99% chance, you know what I mean? But I guess there's always that 1%, that maybe my shit's just too stubborn, and or maybe the doctor was just gonna sneeze, and fuck me up or whatever. But So I went through that ordeal, right? And I remember after, I think the surgery was on a Tuesday, and I remember I took the next 2 days off of work, basically just to help with the recovery. They put me on some other medications, and I think I went back to work on that Friday, which my boss was like, I don't know why you did, you didn't have to. I was like, well, I kind of wanted to do like one day and then take another couple of days off just to kind of like get back into the groove of it, you know. So that's what I did. And again, I'm going to say a long story short, but I'm full of shit. Um, I would say that everything's pretty much back to normal now. I did have like another echocardiogram test that I guess is pretty normal, you know. I did see. So again, I have like two cardiologists. One's like an electrician, one's like for the plumbing, if you know what I mean. So they kind of like, I feel like they're fighting over me, which is fucking real romantic, right? But I'm like, so this guy wants me to do this, and this guy is like, no, that's fucking unnecessary. Let's just do this, and let's, you know. So I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm getting pulled back and forth, you know. So right now, I think I'm pretty much done with testing for a while. Like, I don't actually have to see another cardiologist till like fall. So I mean, unless something major happens again or whatever. But and all in all, I guess the experience kind of, like I said, it's not like a major thing, you know. But it kind of, I don't want to say it like woke me up, you know, because I've always kind of like taken care of myself. But I think I'm almost like more into staying active and staying busy and taking even better care of myself. Since the incident, because I missed out on like, I don't know, a month or two. It feels like a long ass time of time that I would have done, and I had like a lot of other shit. Like from my prop shop, I would have had a lot more shit done, a lot more projects done, and I would have had a lot more of my music that been working on done too. Matter of fact, I just got out of the guitar room. I laid some shit down. I'm gonna do like a little like a cover song, if you will. It's almost like a I forget what they call those fucking. There's a word for it when you take like a couple different songs and basically like try to put them into one. There's a word for it. But I'm kind of working on something like that. So they're basically like cover songs, but they're by rendition. But there's gonna be like three of them, I hope, and hopefully it all comes out and turns out well and okay. Um, that I'm gonna be working on, but that's besides the point. I had to restring like three fucking guitars, and then I had to get my little Roadie 3 to tune them. Anyway, by the time all that was fucking shit was done, I'm like, fuck, it's almost midnight. I better do something for my YouTube people, because again, I just haven't been around, and I apologize, and I'm sorry, I suck. But my health always comes first. I come first. My health comes first. That's just the way I am. So you know, you know how it is, guys. So you would do the same thing, and again, may not be a major thing, but to me, it's like anytime they're doing something to your heart, I would consider it a major thing. That's just me, you know. So anyway, that's my to do right now. I'm probably gonna do like another um, video update here, a little bit more present because I just had a weekend show that I did. So I'm gonna fill you guys up on that and some of the cool events or whatever that transpired. But for until then, guys, I'm gonna try to make this a regular thing. I'm gonna explain that again in the next video. So you guys all take care of each other, okay, and yourselves, and all that bullshit. I would say we're only here once, but that's bullshit too. But anyway, guys, take it easy.